Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're getting into something that honestly sounds simple but can feel super complicated. Skin hydration. Like, how do we actually do it right?
Yeah, it seems basic.
We've got this really detailed source, basically a blueprint on 10 ways to hydrate skin, but it's a lot. So our mission today, let's break it down, make it make sense, and give you a clear routine you can actually use, like tonight.
And it's important to think bigger than just how skin looks. I mean, proper hydration, especially for your face, it's really the foundation of healthy skin.
Right.
It's crucial because it keeps that skin barrier strong, holds on to moisture, helps with the elasticity, and it's your first line of defense against everyday stuff like UV rays or pollution. If that barrier isn't working right, well, nothing else really can.
Yeah, and you see it immediately when it fails, right?
Yeah.
The source described dehydrated skin perfectly. It called it dull, rough, flaky, like a shriveled raisin. Definitely not the goal.
Exactly. And that raisin look, it can come from so many different things. Sure, maybe not drinking enough water, but also like really dry air or using cleansers that are just too harsh, stripping everything away.
Or even exfoliating too much.
Or even too much exfoliation. Yeah, that's why you really need a plan that hits it from multiple angles, what you put in your body and what you put on your skin.
Okay, let's unpack this then, because before we even think about products, we need to get the words right. I know this trips people up. There's a real difference between hydrating and moisturizing. What's the key thing we absolutely need to grasp here?
Right, this is probably the single most important concept. So hydration, that's the process where you're actively increasing the actual water content inside your skin cells.
Okay.
So hydrating products use these specific ingredients called humectants. Think of them like the water magnets. They have the right properties to actually draw water either from the air around you, if it's humid, or from the deeper layers of your own skin and pull it up to the surface layers.
Okay, so these are the things like hyaluronic acid, glycerin, aloe vera, panthenol, those guys, they make the cells kind of plump up.
Precisely. They literally make the cells plumper, more elastic. Now, moisturizing, that's a totally different job. Moisturizing is all about sealing that water in. It's about preventing the water you just added from just evaporating away.
That TEWL thing, transepidermal water loss.
Exactly, TEWL. It's just water escaping from your skin into the air. And moisturizers stop that using things called emollients and occlusives. These are generally heavier ingredients. They sit more on the surface and create a physical barrier.
Gotcha. So they create like a lid. These are the heavier creams and oils.
Yep, think ceramides, shea butter, even petrolatum, squalane, things that form a protective film to keep the water in.
Okay, so the big takeaway. Hydration puts the water in, moisturization keeps it there.
You got it. And you absolutely need both. They work together. You could slather on the best moisturizer, but if your skin is dehydrated underneath, you're basically just sealing in dryness, like a well-moisturized raisin.
Right. Not the look. Okay, this is where it's really interesting for me because we focus so much on the bottles, the creams, but this research really hammers home that hydration isn't just topical. Let's talk about the internal stuff and like the environment around us.
Yes, internal hydration is absolutely fundamental. Your whole body needs water to function, and your skin is often the last place to get it if you're running low overall. The guide is pretty clear. Aim for about 8 to 10 glasses of water a day. That's roughly 2 to 3.7 liters.
Whoa, 3.7 liters. That's a serious commitment. That's not just sipping water with meals.
It takes conscious effort, definitely. And the key thing the source mentions is drinking it consistently through the day. Don't just chug it all at once. And, if you're already feeling thirsty, you're actually already a bit dehydrated.
Okay. But maybe we can kind of cheat a bit with food. The source mentions eating water-rich foods, too.
Absolutely. Things like watermelon, cucumber, celery, strawberries, oranges. They don't just provide water, but also fiber and nutrients. It's a really effective way to hydrate from the inside.
And what about things that work against hydration? Like my morning coffee.
Yeah, the research points to caffeine and alcohol. They can act as diuretics, meaning they make you lose fluid. So if you're consuming those, the advice is basically to consciously drink more water to compensate for that loss.
Makes sense. Okay, moving outside the body then, to our environment. I like the focus on humidity, especially for those of us in dry climates or blasting the heat in winter.
Using a humidifier is a really smart move, especially overnight while you sleep. The source actually gives a target range. Try to keep the humidity in your room between 40% and 60%. That can really help stop the dry air from just sucking moisture out of your skin.
Good tip.
Oh, and a quick side note they mentioned, use distilled water if you can, and clean the humidifier regularly like weekly, to stop mold or mineral buildup.
Right, don't want to be breathing that in. And the source also mentioned the water we wash with. Something about hard water.
Yeah, that surprises a lot of people. Hard water just means it has a high concentration of minerals like calcium and magnesium. The problem is these minerals can react with your cleanser.
How so?
They can form a sort of residue that's hard to rinse off properly. And that can make dryness worse. It can even mess with your skin's natural barrier oils, making all your other hydrating efforts kind of less effective.
Wow, okay, so it all connects. If we're losing water internally and the environment is pulling it out, then we need that solid external routine to push it back in and, importantly, seal it. So let's take those 10 steps from the source and maybe organize them into like a practical daily flow.
Absolutely. We can think about it simply. What do you need to do in the morning for prep and protection? And what do you do in the evening for repair and sealing?
Perfect. Let's start with the morning. What are the absolute must-dos to kick off the day right, hydration-wise?
Okay, morning is all about adding moisture and then defending the skin. So, step one, gentle cleansing. Use something mild. You don't want to strip your skin first thing. Massage it in for maybe 30 seconds or so. Use lukewarm water, not hot.
Got it. Mild cleanser.
Step two, hydrating toner. Right after cleansing, while skin might still be a tiny bit damp, pat on a hydrating toner, about half a teaspoon maybe. This helps balance the skin's pH after washing and kind of preps it to absorb what comes next.
It's like a primer for moisture.
Exactly. Then step three, and this is really key, moisturize onto damp skin. Don't wait for your skin to dry completely. Apply your moisturizer, maybe a dime or nickel-sized amount, while the skin is still slightly damp.
Why damp?
Because it helps trap that surface water. Plus, any humectants in your moisturizer work way better when there's already water present for them to grab onto and pull into the skin.
Ah, clever. Okay.
And finally, step four, the absolute non-negotiable, sunscreen, every single morning. UV damage is a huge driver of dehydration and barrier breakdown. It needs to be broad spectrum, SPF 30.
Okay, so morning. Cleanse gently, tone, moisturize damp skin, and SPF. How much sunscreen are we talking? Like for the face?
The guideline is usually about a nickel-sized amount just for the face, plus more for the neck, and apply it about 15 minutes before you actually go out. Critically, you need to reapply it every couple of hours if you're outside or if you're sweating or swimming. That one coat in the morning, it's not going to last all day.
Right, reapplication is key. Okay, morning routine sorted. Now let's talk evening. This is where we can maybe do some more intensive stuff, right? Like exfoliation.
Exactly. The evening routine is about clearing the slate, allowing deeper treatments to work, and then really sealing everything in for overnight repair. So first, maybe not every night, but exfoliation.
How often?
Well, this really depends on your skin type. The sources suggest anywhere from 1 to maybe 4 times a week. You need to remove those dead skin cells that can block your other products from absorbing well. Just use a small amount, like pea-sized, massage gently, maybe 20-30 seconds.
Okay, exfoliate strategically, then cleanse.
Yes, cleanse first usually, unless it's a leave-on exfoliant. After cleansing, then comes your treatment phase. So again, your hydrating toner first, then any serums you might use, antioxidants, retinoids, whatever your target is.
Then maybe a mask.
Yeah, if you use hydrating masks, evening is a great time. The source suggested maybe 1 to 3 times a week. Leave it on for, say, 10 to 30 minutes for a really intensive moisture boost.
Okay. And then the final seal, moisturizer and oil. Where does oil fit in? I always get confused about the order.
Right, this is a common point of confusion.
Yeah.
So after your toner and serums, you apply your moisturizer first, let it sink in for a moment. Then you apply your facial oil, just a few drops, like 1 to 3 drops maybe. Things like rosehip oil or squalane, which the source mentioned.
Wait, oil after moisturizer. I thought oil should go first to really sink in.
That's the misconception. See, your moisturizer usually has those humectants, the water-attracting ingredients. Oils, on the other hand, are mostly occlusive. They don't really add water. Their main job is to create that seal. If you put the heavy oil on first, it can actually block your moisturizer with all its watery goodness from getting to the skin effectively.
Oh, okay. That makes total sense now. Water first and the moisturizer, then oil to lock it all down.
Exactly. Think of the oil as the final top coat, preventing that TEWL overnight while you sleep.
Brilliant. Okay, so we've covered the internal hydration, the environment, the morning routine, the evening routine. Let's zoom out. Why go through all this trouble? Beyond just not feeling tight or dry, what are the real tangible benefits someone gets from committing to this?
Oh, the benefits are significant, and they go way beyond just comfort. First up, anti-aging. Seriously.
Yeah.
Hydrated skin naturally supports its own collagen and hyaluronic acid. When skin cells are plump with water, fine lines and wrinkles just look less obvious. It can genuinely help delay sagging over time.
Okay, anti-aging, that's a big one. And you mentioned earlier it can even help with acne. That seems weird, right? Putting more moisture on oily skin?
It sounds counterintuitive, I know, but it's fundamental. When skin gets dehydrated, its barrier function is compromised. It can actually trigger the skin to produce more oil to try and compensate for the lack of water.
Ah, so the oiliness is a symptom of dehydration sometimes.
It absolutely can be. So keeping the skin properly hydrated helps regulate that sebum production, which means fewer clogged pores and potentially fewer breakouts, even for oily skin types.
Wow. And then there's just the look of it, right? That radiant appearance the source talks about.
Exactly, that plumpness we keep mentioning. It makes the skin look fuller, smoother. It can even make pores appear smaller. It just gives you that healthy glow.
And finally, resilience.
Yeah, resilience. A strong, well-hydrated skin barrier just heals faster. It's less prone to irritation, less sensitive to things in the environment. So really, proper hydration benefits almost every skin type. It brings comfort to dry skin, helps balance oily skin, and builds strength in sensitive skin.
Yeah.
It's pretty universal.
Okay, this sounds amazing, but it brings up that classic optimization question. We're told constantly, hydrate, hydrate, hydrate.
Yeah.
Is there such a thing as too much hydration? Like, can you overdo it with the max and the layers?
Ooh, so like using a sheet mask every single night, even if it feels nice, could actually backfire. How would you even know? Like, what's the difference between healthy plumpness and like puffy irritation?
Exactly. Can you drown your skin?
Yes, that is the critical caveat here.
Right.
Overhydration is a real thing. And the daily sheet mask example is perfect. If you constantly keep the outer layer of your skin sort of waterlogged, excessively moist for long periods, the skin cells can swell up too much. And that constant swelling state can actually weaken the connections between the cells, weakening the skin barrier.
No way. So too much moisture weakens the barrier you're trying to strengthen.
Ironically, yes. A weakened barrier then leads to more transepidermal water loss,
Yeah.
the very thing you were trying to prevent. Plus, it can make the skin more prone to irritation, redness, maybe even clogged pores or breakouts because the barrier isn't functioning properly.
Wow. Okay, so balance is key. Listen to your skin. If it starts feeling weirdly sticky or fragile, or you suddenly get breakouts after going overboard with hydrating products, maybe dial it back.
Precisely. It's about finding that healthy equilibrium, not just flooding the skin constantly.
Okay, that's a really important context. So wrapping up this deep dive, the absolute core message seems to be understanding that difference. Hydration adds water, humectants. Moisturizing locks it in, occlusives. And getting truly hydrated skin isn't just about products, it's balancing that internal effort, drinking the water, maybe using a humidifier with a smart, structured external routine.
Yeah.
It's not really 10 random steps, is it? It
Yeah.
boils down to add water, lock it in, and protect it with sunscreen.
Beautifully put. And maybe we can leave you with one final thought to sort of mull over. It really shows how connected everything is.
Huh?
Think about the link between good sleep and your skin's hydration.
Oh, how does sleep fit in?
Well, when you get proper restorative sleep, your skin goes into this major repair mode overnight. Blood flow increases to the skin, which helps stimulate the natural production of things like collagen and, yes, hyaluronic acid, the stuff that holds onto moisture. Plus, cortisol levels drop, which reduces stress-related barrier damage. So if you're consistently skipping sleep, you're basically undermining all your hydrating efforts during the day. Deep rest and good hydration are truly linked. Something to think about.